Hello and welcome to the bowels of Amalie Arena, where the Jackets have just posted a rather shocking 4-3 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning in front of a crowd of nearly 20,000, the 200th consecutive sellout in this building. And they were not prepared for this. It was stunning. Brian, what was in Adam Jardy? Brian Hedger, Adam Jardy. What was it like in Adam? I'll ask you within the arena when the final horn sounded.
Well, it's like that Will Ferrell movie with Ricky Bobby where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like people were just like looking at each other, and it's hard to explain the noise of like confusion and consternation and frustration, but that's what it was like sitting up there. Nobody knew how to process what was happening. It was like groans and like some boos and just like in a mix of like stunned silence. It was all of that kind of rolled into a very odd final couple of minutes. And when you're there covering the team that's doing that, it's such a weird feeling. It reminded me of, not to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but I got to cover Game 7 of the NBA Finals when the Cavs came back against Golden State. Mm-hmm. And you're watching the confetti fall, and you're realizing that like the team that you're there covering just pulled off something miraculous, and nobody that's in the arena wanted to see it happen. And it's this weird juxtaposition of everybody in the arena just like stunned, and the team that you're there to cover celebrating. It was surreal.
They're not used to that here.
Well,
they blitz people here, and they keep blitzing them until they blow them out of the water. It doesn't happen.
It's 3-0 after the first period.
Right, and it does not look good.
No,
it's not a hey, they've had a few good moments here and there. They can build off a 3-0 thing. No, they got crushed in the first period.
Yeah, I think
they got dominated in the first period.
They did. I mean, I think Bobrovsky did not. The goaltender for the Blue Jackets did not look comfortable. Is one way to put it. I think his teammates sensed that. The first one went in at about the 5-minute mark, if I recall, 4:50 something. Breakaway.
Yeah, that was a breakaway goal. At least, I mean, 2 of the 3 goals. One's a breakaway goal.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's hard to fault the goalie on that one when it's coming right at him down the pipe on a shorthanded thing. And then the third goal, a lot of people initially thought that was a bad goal on him. If you look at it, Yanni Gord has a great tip right in the front.
That was an unbelievable tip.
It's unbelievable. You can't blame Bob for that one. The second goal is the one that kind of tipped the iceberg, whatever you want to say. That was the one that kind of was a backbreaker that looked like at the time.
Soft shot from the point.
Soft shot, and he let the rebound go. And there was nobody checking the guy, though.
No, Savard and Nudavara both got beat.
They're just standing there, and he's behind him, and he pops it in the net. So he did look a little shaky. I will say that in the first period. I didn't think he looked terrible. There's people out there saying he looked awful. I didn't think he looked terrible.
He couldn't catch the puck. I mean, he wasn't getting anything cleanly. He was giving up rebound after rebound.
I'll say this about the first goal too: is and not to belabor the point, but if you see the view from behind the goal on the breakaway, it was a breakaway, so you can't blame the goalie, but he was off center. And Killorn could see it as soon as he got over the blue line, virtually, definitely by the time he got to the hash marks. And all he did was he deked to the side he was favoring, and then just put it on his backhand.
Yeah, it was a great shot, though. And the shot goes over the pad, under the glove. But he had his pad and his glove out there. It went right.
I don't want to quibble, but there was plenty for me to believe that looked like a nervous goalie and a team that had its confidence taken away from it.
And then he comes out in the second period, and he looks like
it's 3-0 after one.
He looks like a whole new goalie.
Oh, he was
second
awesome.
Period.
He was unbelievable.
He found a phone booth. He found a phone booth, and he located regular season Bob, and he put his little regular season Bob uniform on. And he came out. I mean, that first save on Kucherov, 26 seconds into the second period. That's a 2-on-0 on a power play. That's 4-0.
That changed the game.
That changed the game.
I mean, that was my sidebar. Hopefully, you read that in the Buckeyes or Blue Jackets Extras.com.
We'll throw it in Buckeye Extra too. Why
not?
Habits.
Do it. But, I mean, that changed the game. I mean, I was actually in the press box after the first intermission. I heard the local radio broadcast. This was in my story. They were burying Bob. They're like, we are one goal away from seeing Jonas Corposalo, and the defense didn't even show up, and they were burying the Jackets. Yeah. And they were right. That goal goes in. He's coming out of that game
for sure. And he instead makes a Bob-like save
Yes.
that we've seen through all these regular seasons.
No, that was
Unbelievable
That was
save.
a special save.
And I think he got a little momentum out of that, a lot of momentum out of that. But then Kucherov, 24 seconds later, bangs one right off the crossbar.
Oh, that was
One
loud.
timer, and if right,
That
if
was
that's
loud.
like another like an inch lower, that's 4-0. It was almost 5-0 if he doesn't make that save. But it doesn't happen that way, right?
So they have their stuff together in the second period. Nick Foligno breakaway goal.
Yep, that changed things a lot.
Now the Lightning, that was compounded in terms of the way the Lightning were processing it, because that was just very poor puck management by a team
Sure.
that is not prone to that. A puck turns over.
Nice play by Anderson.
Yeah, it was a stick by Anderson. Off goes Foligno. Great shot.
You know
inside
what?
the left post.
And Nick was, he gets this reputation, and rightfully so, as a grinder, and he's out there bashing people and knocking guys over, and he does a great job with that. He's got a lot more skill than I think a lot of people realize. I mean, he's got a great shot, and I think he made a great play on that to not only see the turnover, but he hopped on that thing. He pounced on it and was like, all right, I'm taking this thing. I'm going in and I'm going to do something with it. And he did, and that changed the whole... I was actually up in the press box still at that point. I watched the third period downstairs. I want to be closer to the locker room. I have to have a story filed with that.
Just get on with it.
Anyway, logistics. I was in the press box for that one, and that one... that was the first one, that feeling you were talking about, the people in,
Oh, they
in the
scored.
stands. It was almost like, what?
The other team gets the score too.
What happened? Like, what happened?
And as
you know,
I say, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead.
Oh,
in hockey,
totally.
right?
And it just went silent in the building. Like, what the heck is happening? And then it's so silent you could almost hear Nick, yelling and screaming and pumping his fist down
Right.
there. Like, that's a big one. You can kind of tell that was a big goal.
And so you get to the third, it's 3-1, and maybe if you're a Jackets fan, you're thinking they have a chance. And to me, the momentum shift, and as Tortorella is right, in playoff games and playoff series, there's 10 moments in any one game and 100 in a series where things can turn on a dime. For me, that was when David Savard picks the puck up at the red line.
Yeah.
And blows like Bobby Orr. He spun Hedman around.
Yes.
This guy's going to win the Norris.
He just ticks.
He
just
spun around,
slips
cut
the
inside
puck
with a
right
toe
by him.
drag,
Yeah.
and just ripped it under the crossbar. And that's when I went like, well, this is interesting.
Yeah,
now.
what's going on now? At that point, I mean, they had been controlling the game at that
Yeah.
point. They just had not been scoring goals. But they were controlling most of the game. Their forecheck was dominating at that point.
They flipped this.
And that's what I was writing.
1-2.
I was basically writing, like, they're probably going to lose this game. I mean, they're down 3-1, it's the Lightning, but, like, if they can salvage, if they do lose this game, and they can salvage the last two periods, basically being
Right.
the best team out there,
A little ball.
you got something going into game two.
And you have to think that way at that point, because what's the number, Georgie? When the Lightning have a lead going into the third period?
You had in your
This
column
year?
39-2 and 2 was what you had in your column.
Yes, so
That's
39-2-2, that's pretty good when you have a lead going into the third.
Not bad.
And so then, Dubinsky.
0-1-0 in the playoffs, though. Just saying.
Oh, jeez. Jumping
I'm
out.
good at math.
So Dubinsky takes a double minor then, right? For high sticking
Yep.
on everyone's favorite player, Cedric Paquette.
Yeah.
And
I think he fell on his opponent's stick, though. Photo evidence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
no, the TV replay.
He got high
He
sticked
got
by
whacked in
two
the face pretty good.
by two players though.
Yeah.
He fell on his teammate.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, is that what caused the blood?
Yeah.
But there was a high stick. Probably it was a 2. Anyway, he gets a 4.
Did he fall on it on purpose? To cause the blood?
You can start that.
The
rumor.
Zapruder film. I need to see it.
So then you're going like, well, here's a 30% power play. I mean, the best in
Right.
however many years.
Yeah, here it comes.
And so what happens? It's a shorthanded goal by
Yeah.
Josh Anderson.
Yeah.
And again, to me, it was Savard. You're a defenseman, not exactly known for your wheels.
Mm-mm.
And he sees a lane and figures he can beat their defenders back. No, they're killing a penalty.
Yes.
His job primarily is to make sure nothing goes the other way. Because you know
Right.
how fast things can turn when you
Sure.
send 2 fork checkers up shorthanded.
But Savvy's feeling it,
And
man.
he just plows right ahead. He's skated as fast as he's ever skated in his life. And then his great line afterwards was, I saw he wasn't going to pass me the puck, and that was okay with me.
That's what. In fact, he said
I was perfectly
I would have done
fine.
the same thing.
Yeah.
I would have made the same decision not
So
to pass to me.
he drives the net. He sends, I think, Stamkos into Vasilevsky, the goalie.
Yep, by driving the net.
And he's skating away, smiling. Anderson's scoring, and you're going like, oh my God, it's tied
What is going on here?
on a shorty.
Yeah, now I'm freaking out. You know, every writer is freaking out.
No one cares about that.
Yeah, I care about it.
Well, I do too, but
I just want the games to go the way I had them written at the second period. That's all I want.
Okay, so it's 3-3.
Yes, it's changed.
And Charlie, what's it like in the arena then?
More hand wringing, more.
Did you get into the radio booth again? Because that's what I would like.
I really wanted to, but I was just too riveted on what was happening on the ice. I heard one fan nearby yell, "Do something!"
That's my favorite criticism.
I was
Do
like,
something.
Because nobody knew what to say. Nobody knew what to do. It's like
We hear that a lot. In
That's like
260,
that. Isn't there a meme where the guy's poking like something with a stick, like he's poking like a marshmallow with a stick?
I'm not up with the memes.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
he's-
just do
he's,
something. Do something.
So it's 3-3. The Jackets have a power play goal to win it. Seth
Mhm.
Jones, Artemi Panarin, there he is.
What a pass!
That was a tremendous pass.
What a
across the
feed.
front. And
Yeah.
he kind of stuck it out there like nice and easy, teed it up for him.
Yep.
And good screen, goal goes in. Our guys, check it out on Twitter at KRobPhoto, at Atomic Photo. These two guys synced the game winner from two different angles.
What, 108
And
photos?
tweeted the
combined?
video.
That's awesome.
It's unreal.
And tweeted the video.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good job, boys.
So that is the sixth, if my count is correct, victory in playoffs. And
Yeah, and I think it's
franchise-
is it only the second in regulation?
Yes, that is correct.
Second regulation
Yeah.
victory.
Of course, the
in
previous two
playoffs.
overtimes were Calvert and Foligno. Everyone remembers Foligno's goal.
That
And
was
then
the night-
a lot of you remember Calvert. Go ahead, Jardy. You
That,
can.
that was the night my son was born.
Wow.
My oldest son was born April 23rd, 2014, and we had that game on in the
Did you
delivery
name
room.
him Matty Calvert, Jardy?
Did not. We named him Liam.
Liam.
After, of course, the greatest rock and roll singer of our generation, but that's a discussion for another
Did
day.
did you when he was born? Did you say there's Matty Calvert like Jody Shelley?
Nope. Nope.
There's
No,
Matty Calvert.
There were more tears, more other emotions that
Yes.
weren't just the Blue Jackets. But I digress.
And by the way, the Blue Jackets won a big game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, now
Big
we're
night.
really prattling, and
Yes.
we have to get back on the ball
Pull
here.
it- pull it
so,
back together
So
here.
it's 4-3. It's an incredible, improbable victory. Most of North America had the Lightning winning this series tonight in a 4-game sweep, and now the Jackets are up 1-0.
My favorite tweet of the night, by the way, sorry to interrupt, was after they went up 3-0. God, well, I need to remember who it was, but it was one of the National Hockey Writers tweeted, "Lightning in one."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that,
Lightning in one.
Really,
Thing's over.
a stunning turn of events, and that is playoff hockey.
Yeah.
This kind of thing can happen. One game doesn't mean anything other than the Jackets are one game closer to winning the series than the Lightning. This thing can twist again on Friday, 7:00 puck drop. Although it's more like 7. I think I was right with 7:17.
Yeah, you were close. The pregame video thing
Yeah, whatever.
went on a little way.
But anyway, what does this do for the Jackets, gentlemen, and what does this do to the Lightning?
Well, I think they were going to have a lift out of this game anyway, like we were saying earlier. Even if they lost it and it was a close game, because they didn't get blown out.
Right. The early lead was, gee, if they only showed up for the first period.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And basically they were
Well,
going to get a lift
yeah.
off of that, but this is like icing. Like now, not only did they play pretty well in the last two periods, or really well, they won the game. They're up 1. They have a 1-0 series lead, and now the pressure really is on.
That's what I was going to ask you
the
about.
Lightning.
The Jackets are still playing with house money, no matter what
Yep.
game it is, until it's a closeout game. And we don't want to get that far down the line because
Yeah. No.
fans remember what a 2-0 lead with 2 victories on the road means in Columbus.
Yeah.
Should I not
Nothing
say
last
that?
year.
Yeah.
Didn't mean anything last year. So.
But all the pressure now on the Lightning.
Sure.
I fully expect them to make some tweaks. We'll see what the Jackets can do Friday. We'll have a look at them at practice tomorrow. We'll bring you more content at dispatch.com, at Dispatch Alerts on Twitter. That's at Brian Hedger and at Adam Jardy. I'm at Michael A. Race 1. Is that correct? Is that your correct handle?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's not a Liam in there or anything like that?
No, not-
Matty
no.
Calvert?
No,
At
Matty
KRob Photo, at Atomic Photo. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk to you again tomorrow. Please stay tuned. Thanks, and Kyle, blow us out of here.
See ya.
Boom.